actor and Academy Award-winning director Mel Gibson, an old friend, a Malibu resident who tragically just lost his home.
Mel Gibson's house wasn't just in danger, it was destroyed. Fire burned down his Malibu home, leaving only ashes. But before anyone could recover from the news, Donald Trump surprised everyone by picking Gibson, Jon Voight, and Sylvester Stallone to help bring Hollywood back to its best days. The news exploded online, with people arguing about what this could mean for Hollywood's future. Tune in as these stars work to bring Hollywood back, or see it break apart for good. Mel Gibson's unlikely Hollywood revival. The fires weren't just another headline for Gibson, they were personal and immediate. While sitting down with Joe Rogan for a podcast interview, the actor admitted his thoughts were miles away, focused entirely on his Malibu neighborhood. As the fires raged closer, his son Milo, a volunteer firefighter, kept him informed through videos and calls. The grim updates made one thing clear: this was no ordinary wildfire. By the time Gibson returned to Malibu, his house was completely destroyed. Despite the heartbreak, he managed to find humor in the chaos, quipping, "Well, at least plumbing won't be an issue anymore." It's the kind of dark humor that only someone like Gibson could deliver, masking the gravity of the situation with a laugh. But just when the narrative seemed set to focus on rebuilding and recovery, Donald Trump entered the scene with a headline-grabbing announcement. In a move that felt part political maneuver and part Hollywood reboot, Trump appointed him, Jon Voight, and Sylvester Stallone as special ambassadors for Hollywood. These three icons were tasked with nothing less than reviving the entertainment capital's golden age. The announcement raised eyebrows, sparked debates, and left many wondering, could this trio actually pull it off? Trump's reasoning was straightforward. According to him, Hollywood had lost its way. Over the years, the industry has seen a decline in local productions as studios increasingly choose to film overseas. This shift has impacted local economies and raised concerns about the future of Hollywood's global influence. Trump's vision was to restore Hollywood's status as a beacon of American creativity and innovation. And who better to lead that charge than three of its most recognizable faces? Social media became a battleground of opinions. Supporters hailed the appointments as a much-needed shakeup, while skeptics dismissed them as mere theatrics. Many questioned the practicality of relying on Hollywood veterans to solve systemic problems, but others argued that their experience and star power could bring much-needed attention to the issues. Regardless of where people stood, the story was impossible to ignore. For him, this role presented an opportunity to break new ground. Stepping into a political adjacent position, he had the chance to bring his unique perspective to an industry he knows intimately. His blend of humor, resilience, and determination seemed well suited to the task, though whether it would be enough to make a tangible impact remained to be seen. One thing, however, was certain. This was a plot twist no one could have predicted. Critics have pointed out that the trio's star power alone won't be enough to turn things around. Hollywood's struggles are rooted in economic and technological changes that require innovative solutions. But supporters argue that having industry veterans at the helm could bring a fresh perspective and help bridge the gap between Hollywood's storied past and its uncertain future. For him, this role is more than just a title. It's an opportunity to leave a lasting legacy. Whether he's able to rise to the occasion or not, his willingness to take on such a high-profile and unconventional role speaks to his character. It's a reminder that even in the face of personal loss and professional challenges, he's not afraid to embrace new opportunities. The story of his journey from wildfire victim to Hollywood ambassador is one of resilience, humor, and unexpected twists. It's a narrative that captures the complexities of an industry in transition and the determination of one man to make a difference. As the world watches, one thing is clear. The spotlight is firmly fixed on him, Voight, and Stallone as they embark on this ambitious mission. The road to revitalizing Hollywood will be long and challenging, but if there's one thing he has shown time and again, it's that he's not one to back down from a fight. Whether this initiative leads to a true golden age for Hollywood or simply becomes another footnote in its history remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, this is a story worth following, filled with drama, humor, and a cast of characters that could rival any blockbuster film. However, there are underlying layers to this story that delve beyond the public's polarized reactions. Behind the scenes, industry insiders are debating the real-world implications of this unusual appointment. The entertainment industry's challenges extend far beyond glitzy and glamour. For years, financial models have relied heavily on international box office performance, a trend exacerbated by the rise of digital streaming services. These platforms have shifted power dynamics, placing more control in the hands of tech companies and reducing the traditional influence of studio executives. Big questions about Hollywood's future needed bold answers: innovation, diversity, and Hollywood's future. Additionally, questions of diversity and representation have become central to the conversation about Hollywood's future. Many argue that a revival must also involve a significant cultural shift, one that embraces a broader range of voices and stories. How he, Voight, and Stallone navigate these cultural and social challenges will be just as important as their efforts to revitalize Hollywood's economic landscape. On the international stage, Hollywood faces increasing competition from thriving film industries in countries like China, South Korea, and India. These markets have not only grown in economic clout, but have also begun to exert cultural influence on a global scale. To remain competitive, Hollywood must innovate while respecting the unique strengths of these emerging powerhouses. This delicate balancing act will require strategic thinking and a willingness to collaborate across borders. As he and his colleagues settle into their roles, the entertainment world will undoubtedly scrutinize their every move. Their success or failure could have far-reaching implications, not just for Hollywood, but for the broader cultural narrative that the industry shapes. This responsibility places them in an extraordinary position, blending elements of artistry, diplomacy, and strategy in ways rarely seen before. The journey ahead is daunting, but it is also filled with potential. For him, Voight, and Stallone, this opportunity represents a chance to contribute to a legacy far greater than their individual careers. By tackling the challenges of today's Hollywood, they have the potential to inspire a new generation of filmmakers and audiences alike. Stay tuned, because the next chapter of this saga promises to be as unpredictable and captivating as the industry it seeks to transform. With him at the helm alongside Voight and Stallone, there's no telling where this journey will lead, but it's sure to be an adventure like no other. You know what's shaking up Hollywood right now? Not just some glitzy awards season drama or the usual celebrity gossip, but a full-blown tech invasion. AI is barging into Tinseltown, kicking down doors and rewriting scripts, literally. And guess who's been called to the front lines to figure out how to deal with it? None other than him, Jon Voight, and Sylvester Stallone. These veteran icons of Hollywood have been dubbed the special ambassadors for revitalizing the film industry. Bold move, but the task they've been handed is no walk in the park. For starters, let's talk about how AI's wormed its way into the nitty-gritty of filmmaking. A decade ago, it started small, polishing up post-production work and automating tedious tasks. But then it leveled up. Now AI's crafting scripts, predicting box office hits, and churning out visuals that'll make your jaw drop. It's efficient and flashy, but it's also got people wondering if Hollywood's creativity is being swapped for soulless algorithms. And that's where he and his crew come in, to strike a balance between embracing the new and honoring the old-school magic that made Hollywood a cultural juggernaut. One of the big ethical elephants in the room? AI's ability to recreate actors, even those who've long since left us. Remember when Stallone's film pulled this stunt, bringing back a deceased actor via voice cloning? Some fans were all for it, calling it a tribute, but others were squirming in their seats, calling foul play on exploiting the dead. It's a messy, tricky line to walk, and he, known for his hands-on, heartfelt approach to storytelling, has to help set the ground rules for what's acceptable and what crosses the line. Another issue, AI's coming for jobs. Writers, editors, visual effects teams, you name it. Unions are already on edge, and the Hollywood strikes of 2023 made it clear. People aren't thrilled about being replaced by machines. Sure, AI might not fully replace human writers yet, but it's nibbling at the edges, generating dialogue and story ideas. And with AI tools making post-production a breeze, whole teams of professionals are finding their roles shrinking. It's a grim outlook if someone doesn't step in to protect the little guy. But let's not paint him, Voight and Stallone, as Hollywood's knights in shining armor just yet. Sure, they've got the clout, the experience, and the box office hits to back them up. But their real challenge is navigating a minefield of issues, from ethics to economics to creativity, while keeping the lights on in a rapidly changing industry. His history of pushing the envelope in films like Braveheart and The Passion of the Christ shows he's not afraid to go against the grain. That's a good sign. But will it be enough? AI isn't just changing how movies are made, it's revolutionizing how they're sold and watched. Studios now use algorithms to predict exactly what you want to see, sometimes even tweaking scripts and scenes to maximize audience appeal. It's a numbers game, and it's lucrative as ever. But here's the kicker. It's also stifling originality. When every decision is driven by data, where's the room for creative risks? That's a question he's going to have to wrestle with, and it's no small task. Visual effects are another battlefield. Thanks to AI, even low-budget productions can create jaw-dropping visuals. Sounds great, but there's a downside. Everything's starting to look the same. Homogenized, cookie-cutter visuals that lack the distinct flair filmmakers like him bring to the table. If there's one thing this trio needs to champion, it's keeping the individuality of filmmaking alive. Then there's the environment. Hollywood's carbon footprint isn't exactly tiny, with location shoots, special effects, and travel-guzzling resources. AI offers greener alternatives, like virtual production techniques, but it's a double-edged sword. Sure, it cuts emissions, but can a green screen ever really capture the authenticity of a real location? That's another dilemma for him, who's known for shooting on grand, real-world sets. Cultural representation? That's a whole other can of worms. AI is notorious for replicating biases baked into its programming. If it's not handled right, it could reinforce stereotypes or overlook marginalized voices. Hollywood's already under fire for its lack of diversity, and his team needs to make sure AI doesn't make things worse. Inclusivity has to be front and center in this tech-driven revolution. Hollywood faces a new challenge: creating with machines. AI's role in filmmaking's future. Despite all the challenges, AI does open up some exciting possibilities. Tools like AI-assisted storyboarding and real-time motion capture are making it easier for filmmakers to dream big. For someone like him, who's never shied away from ambitious projects, this tech could be a game changer. But there's a caveat. How much of the creative process should machines handle before it stops being art? Audiences, meanwhile, are divided. Some love the cutting-edge effects and conveniences AI brings. Others worry the magic of movie making is being lost to algorithms. He's been a champion of authenticity in his work, and his challenge now is to make sure that doesn't get lost in this new era. Transparency about how AI is used in filmmaking could go a long way in winning over skeptics. The way forward is collaboration. He, Voight, Stallone, and the rest of Hollywood need to team up with tech experts, ethicists, and creatives to lay down some ground rules for AI's role in the industry. The goal? Make sure AI enhances creativity rather than replacing it. It's a tall order, but it's the only way to ensure the future of film stays bright. AI's potential to democratize certain aspects of filmmaking could also open doors for smaller studios and independent filmmakers. By reducing costs and streamlining production workflows, emerging voices in the industry could have a chance to shine without being overshadowed by massive studio budgets. However, this democratization comes with a risk of oversaturation. With lower barriers to entry, the market could become flooded with content that's formulaic and uninspired, especially if AI becomes a crutch rather than a tool for innovation. Educational institutions and training programs will play a significant role in preparing the next generation of filmmakers to navigate this AI-driven landscape. Curriculums must adapt to include not only traditional filmmaking skills, but also an understanding of how to integrate AI responsibly. It's crucial that creative professionals learn to use these tools to amplify their vision, rather than allowing technology to dictate their artistic choices. Meanwhile, public discourse around AI and its impact on culture is gaining momentum. Social media platforms and forums are alive with debates about what constitutes real art in an era where machines can mimic human creativity. Some argue that AI is simply another tool in the artist's toolkit, while others believe it represents a fundamental shift that could undermine the human connection inherent in storytelling. This tension will likely shape audience expectations and influence how studios approach their projects. Regulation will also be key in defining AI's role in Hollywood. Governments and industry leaders need to establish clear guidelines to prevent misuse and ensure ethical practices. Issues like copyright infringement, data privacy, and the ownership of AI-generated content must be addressed to avoid legal battles that could stifle innovation. The global influence of AI extends beyond the creative sphere. Its applications in marketing and distribution are transforming how films reach audiences worldwide. AI-powered platforms can identify niche markets and customize promotional campaigns to maximize engagement. This precision targeting is already reshaping the box office landscape, enabling studios to reach international audiences with greater efficiency. However, reliance on AI-driven marketing strategies raises questions about the role of serendipity in cultural phenomena. Will iconic moments in film history, born out of unexpected audience connections, become rarer in an age of algorithmic predictability? As Hollywood grapples with these challenges, the leadership of figures like him, Voight, and Stallone will be instrumental in steering the industry toward a future that balances technological advancement with artistic integrity. Their experience and influence give them a unique platform to advocate for policies and practices that prioritize creativity, inclusivity, and sustainability. Ultimately, the future of filmmaking will depend on the choices made today. By embracing AI's potential while addressing its pitfalls, Hollywood can ensure that the art of storytelling continues to thrive in a world increasingly shaped by technology. The journey ahead is uncertain, but with thoughtful leadership and a commitment to preserving the essence of cinema, the industry can adapt and evolve without losing sight of what makes movies magical. It's not just Hollywood that's adapting. Global industries from Bollywood to independent European studios are watching and responding to these shifts. The adoption of AI tools worldwide may lead to unprecedented cross-cultural collaborations, as filmmakers from different traditions and perspectives use these tools to tell new kinds of stories. However, the risk of homogenization remains, as the reliance on AI's predictive models may prioritize broadly appealing narratives over niche, culturally specific tales. To counteract this, fostering diversity within the AI development pipeline itself is essential. Engineers, programmers, and data scientists working on these tools must represent a variety of cultural backgrounds and perspectives to ensure the algorithms they create reflect the complexity and richness of human experiences. Collaborations between technologists and creatives could serve as a model for how to ensure technology serves humanity rather than overshadowing it. The importance of ongoing education and training cannot be overstated. Workshops, seminars, and collaborative projects that bring together filmmakers and technologists can create a shared language for addressing these challenges. Festivals and conferences focused on AI in the arts could become vital platforms for exchanging ideas and showcasing innovations, helping to establish best practices and set industry standards. Finally, the role of the audience must not be overlooked. As passive consumers, viewers wield significant power in shaping trends and encouraging or discouraging certain practices. By supporting films that integrate technology thoughtfully and avoiding productions that feel hollow or overly reliant on AI, audiences can push the industry toward a balanced and thoughtful approach to innovation. Public awareness campaigns and educational initiatives can help inform audiences about the implications of AI in filmmaking, fostering a more engaged and critical viewership. As Hollywood continues to evolve in the shadow of AI, the stakes are high. This moment represents an opportunity to redefine not just how films are made, but also what they mean. With figures like him at the forefront, there is hope that the industry can navigate this transition with care and creativity. By addressing the challenges head-on and embracing the possibilities responsibly, Hollywood has the chance to usher in a new golden age of cinema, one where technology amplifies the artistry and humanity that make movies a uniquely powerful medium. With Gibson, Voight, and Stallone tackling Hollywood's reinvention, the question remains, can icons of the past lead the industry into the future? Share your thoughts below, like, and subscribe for more.